Now we've got Spotsville and Sewell. We got Coach Thomas. He'll join us later. But we're going to be joined right now, Leroy Fredrick, who's all over the podcast cycle. Man, I'm learning something from Coach Fredericks doing this stuff. If you don't know, you don't know. You're never too old to learn. And so, Coach Fredericks, you really are doing a good job with that stuff.
I appreciate it coming from you.
I mean, but for full transparency, for years you have asked me about this. You've asked me even before you started doing it, probably 2 or 3 years before you started doing it. You were kind of talking about it, and I get this so often. People talk a good game. They say they're going to do this and do that and don't do a thing. But you said all this, and then you actually followed through with it. Talk about that, doing this, and you're still doing it during this off season.
It's kind of like the way that I got into coaching, wanting to stay close to the game.
Yeah.
After playing, and what you and camera guy do is really intriguing, and it keeps you close to the game. So, seeing cameraman on the sideline, doing interviews, talking to you up top, that's always piqued my interest. And then somehow, during the pandemic, podcasting hopped on the scene.
Yes.
And that was a way of being able to come into media and have a touch in the game, a voice, so to speak, and, see and talk about it from ground level.
Yeah. The pandemic really did add extra dimensions to a lot of different broadcasting aspects. The remote broadcast, during the pandemic when we couldn't be together, you had broadcasters in Philadelphia broadcasting a game in California. I mean, and it still happens, by the way. It may not, unless you really know what's going on, but
right,
that still does take place from time to time. But you kind of brought up how that has expanded and how that piqued your interest during kind of a downtime.
Right, because that was the only thing we had at that time, if you remember.
Yeah.
Was to be able to see those podcasts, talk about it. And mostly it was guys of the sports world that were talking about it. And, sitting there, I'm just kind of like, I think I can do this. But I have been talking to you about the radio, wanting to get on and do a segment or a show, spinning music. I love music, but also talking about sports within. And I kept talking to you about it. And like you said, I guess now I know you didn't take me serious, but I was very serious about it. And, again, watching you guys and what you do, it's very intriguing. You have to do a little research, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
If you want to be believable and you want to have people actually tune in and talk, listen to you talk, you got to know what you do.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing, what you're talking about. And that's the thing I've admired about you, because you can cover it from football, from football to basketball to softball. I didn't even know you did the softball and baseball games, but you guys do all that.
Yeah.
So when you talk about top to bottom in the sports world, that's what you get, and that's what you guys do a very good job at.
We appreciate it. We try to do what we can do. It's all about the
y'all everywhere, man. Y'all Friday night, y'all high school. Saturday night, y'all rolling in for our games. If it's close enough to basketball season, y'all rolling out on Monday for a basketball game, covering football on Friday, state championship, you playoffs. I've seen you guys do it all, man, and that's I tip my hat, man. That's big time.
Well, speaking of playoffs and postseason, let's see if we can get the Braves back in the playoffs and the postseason. Of course, you deal with the receivers and tight ends. Talk a little bit about that position and how that's looking going into this season.
Oh, we've upgraded as a whole. We like to think we've gotten bigger, gotten longer, gotten faster, and at the tight end position, we moved on from Truck Griffin, who had a great career. And now, we're looking forward to the same stuff out of Caleb, Terrell, DB, who just got there. And, that position right there is going to be one of those deals that we've got to continue to develop to get to a Truck Griffin. But Caleb is more than capable of doing that. And now we just got to get one more guy to kind of come on and do that with him.
Give us the full name, Caleb.
Caleb Anderson, I'm sorry.
Okay. Talk about him and what he brings to the table.
Caleb Anderson played a lot for us last year as well. He was the second guy behind Truck. And Caleb gives us the ability to be really good in the run game, but also be really good in the pass game. Transferred in from Akron prior to last season, Mississippi guy. So, he has those roots, but, the playing and the transition is playing from a receiver to tight end. He's been able to do that really, really well.
And when you look at this, there's the team overall. I mean, it was a tough way to end last season. Some good wins. Tough way to end last year. And I'm sure
the last 2 years.
The last 2 years. But, last year, I mean, there was obviously Coach Thomas coming in, a lot of hype, a lot of excitement. For some fans, and we talked with A.D. Robinson about it, the way last season ended in that last game against Jackson State, it was kind of tough for some fans, a tough pill to swallow, and still – as we transition to another season.
You see me leaning forward, huh?
Yeah. I mean, just what would you say, if anything, to kind of comfort or kind of move past that? Because that's still a point of discussion.
Well, each year is a different year. Each season is a different season. For everybody. No team returns from the previous season to that season the same. At no level. Again, that was a tough one that happened months ago. Again, you got to wait, I guess, until you get to the grass for the first one this year to get that taste out your mouth.
Yeah.
So once we get there Thursday night versus Northwestern State, I think, we'll be able to put that officially behind and close the books on that and start anew. Even though, the calendar year is flipped, I get it. We've all been a part of it.
Yeah.
It's one of those deals until you get that next one, that one sits there.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say. And, once we get to Northwestern, traveling down there for that Thursday night game, once it kicks off, I think we all put that in our rear view, even farther in our rear view, and we focus in on the 2025 season.
I've been reading up on Northwestern State, and, they didn't win a game last year, but it seemed like during this off season, they really focus on the defensive side of the ball. They kind of loaded up there. What are you seeing in just an early peek at Northwestern State? What are you seeing?
Again, like we said just a few minutes ago, no team returns the same. Even though they were winless last year, it's a completely different ball club now. Different coaches, and when they come in, different coaches bring different philosophies. They bring different kids to fit their philosophies. So, what we're seeing now could be completely different from what we see when we get off that bus Thursday there. A lot of the kids that were there last year aren't there this year. So, that's an element that we got to factor in. That's an element they got to factor in with us as well.
Yeah.
Because we've lost a lot, but we've also gained a really, really good amount of talent. So, again, no team's the same from year to year. And it's going to be really exciting to get to that point and get off that bus on Thursday night. ESPN game, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I believe so. We got a number of games on television as well.
Right.
On HBC, you go. Charlie Neal is here. We'll try to talk with him.
Yeah, I met him. But I met him before, but actually had a conversation with him last night, man, and he went down memory lane. BET, SWAC games every Saturday. He started giving us the rundown on that, man, and it was just a great time to hear that history of SWAC football, the games being broadcast every Saturday.
Yep.
Good times.
He was doing it with BET when they were showing it on tape delay.
Yes, and he talked about that as well.
I definitely remember that. Coach Fredrick, what for Braves fans to be excited? What excites you, and what should Braves fans be excited about with this team this year?
Up front, we've upgraded. We've filled some holes. Coach Watson did a tremendous job with those guys last year, and now we've actually gotten a little bigger up there. And those guys have gotten game experience. Cameron was a freshman All-American, and he comes back for his sophomore year. And now we add Block. I'm drawing the name a blank on one guy, Block, but Block is the transfer from Norfolk. So you add those two pieces together on the same side, we got really, really good, really fast in that situation. So up front, Coach Watson, seeing what those guys do, they were all young last year, added some seasoned pieces this year. it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I like that group up front.
We get off to a good start on the road, Northwestern State. Then, obviously Alabama A&M playing Coach Shea. That's their first home game.
Yep.
Mississippi State, obviously, we know what the deal is there. And then UAPB, by the time we come home, if we get off to a fast start, we could be looking really good.
Man, that's a lot of road trips. So, it's one of those deals where we got to get those things taken care of so that when we come home, we got packed stands and ready to go.
Coach, we appreciate it. We got Coach Terrell Buckley coming up.
T-Buck, my guy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.